Again, new stats show the suicide rate is higher in rural areas than in urban centres, and with increased stress because of the drought, there's potential for things to get worse. Someone who knows this situation all too well is Hawke's Bay Chairman for Federated Farmers, David Hunt. Thank you for joining us today, David. Tell us, how stressful is this time for farmers with this weather?
Well, it's incredibly stressful because every week you have to make another decision. I mean, I can give you two examples. I was at a celebration this weekend, and I met one farmer who had just in the process of spending $150,000 on buying extra feed. Another farmer who milks 500 cows, he'd just sent 100 of those 500 to the works last week, and he was planning to send another 100 away in another week or so. So those sort of things put huge stress on individuals.
And would you say that farmers are particularly vulnerable, and if so, why are they?
Probably because to a point we work in isolation, and we're problem solvers, and we believe we can solve all problems, and including our own health, which obviously isn't the case.
What about your personal experience? Because you have had a bout of depression before, I understand.
That's correct.
Tell us about that.
We don't have enough time. But to say it had an enormous impact on myself and my family and my business. It got to the point where I couldn't work for 12 months, and a lot of that was probably not getting the correct advice, or not listening to others.
Do you think farmers see this as a weakness or a vulnerability? Because they are, I mean, we look at our farmers and we think they're the staunch men of the land, don't we?
Yeah, I think we probably think that we're stronger than that, and it's something that we haven't talked about. But since I've had this illness and come out and talked to people, the number of people that tell me that they presently have it or they've had it is enormous. I mean, right down to the truck driver who dropped off some calf meal to me yesterday. And some farmers down the road who are presently suffering. So yeah, it's huge.
David, how did you get help? For people that perhaps are feeling a bit depressed at the moment, how did you help yourself?
Not very well. And you know, I started off by going back to doctors who my own doctor had left the surgery, so every time I went I got a locum, so every time I went I got different advice. In the end, when I really crashed, I went to a new doctor, and that was the start of everything for me, because from there she put a lot of help in place, got me into the mental health program, got me off to social workers, and yeah, it was just a long road really of taking medication and talking through it, and really resting the brain and getting through it.
So what would your advice be then to the farmers out there that may be feeling a bit down at the moment, to avoid the long process, I guess, that you went through?
I think talk about it. Talk about it to somebody, be it your partner or your friend, or just talk about it. People are open to it. Seek medical help. I mean, you must go and see your GP. That's most important. And depending on the severity, you know, whether you get onto medication, but you must see your GP, and you must talk about it. Don't bottle it up, because that's just the worst thing that you can do.
David Hunt, thank you for sharing that with us today, and hopefully that will help other farmers and to realise that, hey, everyone, all of these farmers are stressed at the moment, and it is quite normal to feel a bit down.